This is Unmuted with my girls, Z and Ross the Boss. Talk about it, ladies.
Hey friend,
Hey, friend.
how you doing today?
You know,
Day 2 of podcasting. How we feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I kind of know what I'm doing, just kind of. We're getting there.
Yes, 100%. I think we are definitely a little better than we were during our first recording where we introduced everyone to the two of us. So I'm excited about recording with you today.
Same. I feel like I'm lying. I have talked to you this morning, but I'm excited. I feel like this is a different space. And even though we talk all the time, this is just a little bit different. So I'm very excited.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, as we promised on how we're going to start our podcast off, friend, how is your heart?
So I would say today my heart is really well. It's doing good. It's Friday. This week was a little bit challenging, particularly on a family level. You know, me, my kids, my boyfriend, a lot of personalities. Some weeks are great, some weeks it's like, but we're ending the week as a united front. So we're really good. Looking forward for the weekend. And but had you asked me a few days ago, I would have been like, I'm in the gutter, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate. But
Mhm,
we're good.
mhm.
We're good. I think also it doesn't help that sometimes our hormones are like, this is it. It's going bad. And it's like, no, it's life. It's okay. It's not your family's not crashing. And it was a good
Mhm.
reminder that sometimes our mind can play tricks on us. But today we're doing good so far. So hopefully it stays like that. How about you, friend? How's your heart?
Absolutely. My heart is really good today. Very similar to you. Uh, it definitely felt a little heavy with some of the things throughout the week.
Mhm.
But the one thing that was a true blessing was that there were those moments, right, that reminded me of my why, of connecting into service work. And I know that we were able to do some really great conversations. We had a wind down Wednesday this week, and you and that damn goblet, the way I wanted to break it. So listen, y'all, it was a wind down Wednesday, and my friend Z came in with this very "We Are Sparta" goblet thing. It looked like it was bedazzled with jewels and gems on it, and it looked like it fit an entire bottle of wine. And it was just like, girl, maybe a glass, but it was a bottle's worth. It
It
looked like,
it absolutely
and
did not hold the whole bottle, okay? I wish.
but that's what it looked like, right? But we had some really great conversation with some really amazing ladies who got an opportunity to connect with a nonprofit that is very near and dear to Z and I's heart. So it was really great, not only to let the ladies hear about the work that was being done at the nonprofit, but also just to be in connection and community. Because I think sometimes what's lost for people is that, community service work does help the community and helps the organization, but also it fills your cup too, right? So it was really great to hear from the ladies about how connecting with this nonprofit also spoke to them and like a piece of them that wish they, could have been heard and seen maybe when they were younger women. So that was really dope. And then I got to do Read Across America at my elementary school. So that was really cool. This is the second event I've done there. And, to be able to share with the kids, like, hey, I was once you, I sat in this same, classroom. And they was like, well, what's changed? And I said, not much. Those cabinets are still the same, doll baby. Y'all might even be looking at the same books. I don't know. But it was just really nice to read to this group of fifth graders who were very inquisitive, very thoughtful. We got to read a book called A Voice uh, Named Aretha, about Aretha Franklin. And when I tell you that during Women's History Month and concluding Black History Month, just it just felt like it came around full circle. And just to see these amazing little people just, gravitate towards the book and ask very thoughtful questions. And then to be able to share with them that, like, I was once scared to read, in front of a group of people in my class. So a lot of times I missed, what my classmates had read because I was trying to figure out what section I was going to be called on next to read. And that didn't end. Even when I went to law school, like I was scared to present or, nervous about presenting or reading in front of the class. So to be able to share that with them, and a lot of them were just like, that they felt that same way. Um, it's just the importance of those moments to show them that just because you're an adult doesn't mean that some of those fears go away, but the opportunity to go back to the places where I was the most scared to start that journey and then to go back and read to them was really, really, really dope.
That's
So I
awesome.
think that the community work made the shit of the week. Like it made it make sense. So I think that that was one of the benefits was just the beautiful moments that make the hard moments worth it.
I agree. Wind Down Wednesday was really good.
Hmm.
I think, yeah, that evening I was like, wow, like the bigger picture. Because in the moment you can get caught up with all the bad because there is always gonna be that maybe not bad, but that hard. And then when you have these moments, you're like, okay, it's not all bad. It's not all red, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, that's a good one. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So it was a great week. And even more exciting was the time that I was going to get to speak with you. And I'm so excited because today, what I can share with everybody is for this episode of Unmuted with Z and Ross the Boss, we're going to get to know Miss Zoraida Estrada a little bit better. So we're going to put Z on the hot seat to find out who she is because, as we, hope to grow, this podcast, one of the things that is very, very important is that you know the people that you're listening to, period, point and the blank, and why community work matters to us, why real conversations matter to us. And the best way to do that is to get into some difficult conversation, right? So we have some prepared questions because what are we? Prepared. Honey. Look at the cards. Look at it. She legit. She legit. Well, so we're gonna get into a little Q&A with Ms. Zoraida Estrada. So you know, I know that we have our prepared cards, right? And I was, trying to wrap my mind around like, do we go straight into hard hitting or do I, just kick around some speed round questions, right?
Mm,
Um, so I think, I just want to warm you up a little bit.
okay.
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 So that people know because there was a couple things that I learned during Wind Down Wednesday that I had no idea.
Okay.
First of all, I did not know that Zoraida Estrada was a sports girly. Who knew that? So who's your favorite team there, friend?
It depends. Okay. If we're talking about football or soccer, basketball, I have one for every sport almost. So if we're talking about baseball, Dodger fan all the way. So they're from LA. You know, if you know, you know. So I was gonna sport that sweatshirt today, but it's hot, so maybe next time.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
for football, I love the Green Bay Packers. So diehard fan. Here in Texas, I'll wear my jersey. People will look at me sideways. It's okay. It's okay. I like what I like. Um, World Cup is
Good, you
right
ready to
around.
get jumped and
It's okay.
you're ready to get jumped is what I'm hearing. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hey, if you
Uh-huh.
gotta throw down, you gotta throw
Uh-huh.
down. What can I say? I got my security guard.
Okay. Come on. Come on, Pookie.
And for basketball, Lakers. I'm a Lakers girl through and through. And then for soccer, that's a hard one. World Cup is right around the corner, and I'm Brazil and Argentina. That's just what it's been. A lot of my team selections don't make sense to the naked eye, but that's just what I grew up. I have two brothers. I have uncles. So then that's where my sports came in to try to bond with them. My boyfriend does not like sports. So I'm the one that's consistently, hey, we're gonna, and he's just looking at me like, and I'm like, just go along with it. So,
Just we're here. We're here, darling. Make it
exactly.
happen. Mhm.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, nobody a lot of people don't think so because I'm super girly and always like with the pink and but I do. I can talk sports a little bit.
Okay, okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. Your musical taste. Tell us a little bit about your musical taste.
They're all over the place, y'all. My family looks at me crazy because of well, my lack of playlist that makes sense because I just shuffle everything because you never know. Like you might be in that moment, you're like in the heartbroken R&B. No, not even R&B is not heartbroken all the time. Sometimes it's like that sexy time music. My kids are
Mhm,
gonna be
mhm, mhm.
like very like mortified if they hear this part of the episode. I'm like, Mom, you said sexy time, but we all know we're grown folk. So
Uh-huh.
I do love me some
Mhm.
R&B, some bachata. That's my jam right there. And then I love reggaeton, but you know that I want to dance, get up. Um, I do like rap, hip hop. I like salsa, merengue, cumbias. I do like some country music. The only thing that
Mhm.
let's see, I love rock, so I listen to some, like, Queen,
Come
Kiss,
on.
Rolling
You
like,
got come on. Queen is my favorite friend. I don't even know that I
I
knew that.
girl, I Bohemian Rhapsody is my movie, like, I fell asleep to a lot of things, but when it comes to that, like, I can watch me some Bohemian Rhapsody. Um
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I like a little bit of everything. I'm very open when it comes to music. I love The Weeknd, for example. Like I can listen to The Weeknd all the time, but I can also go back and listen to Prince or Michael Jackson, and of course my Spanish music. So my very verse. I As long as it's a good jam, like there I am.
Okay. Now this is a very important question, friend, that I'm about to drop on you. You ready?
Oh God. Okay. No,
It's
but
about to be
go.
intense. Okay. Your cocktail of choice, darling. What is your cocktail of choice?
Huh. It depends. Are we trying to get tipsy fast? That would be a vodka tonic. That will get me right there pretty fast. But if I just want to chill, relax, take it slow, probably like a Moscow Mule. Um, I like a good sangria. I do like wine, but like in the moment, like if I'm out at a bar, I'll probably get like a vodka tonic or Moscow Mule.
Okay, okay, that's
Yeah.
cute. I like it. I
I'm
like it.
gonna
I
be
like it.
honest. Z likes all types of. Z will not waste alcohol. So even if you put a Dos Equis right there, I will drink that. I have a story
Okay,
behind how
okay.
I
Come on.
got into beer, but that's just another story for another day.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. So, do you feel warm? You feel loose? You feel ready for
I
these hit
do.
questions,
I
darling?
do, but I feel like this one you went
Okay.
easy on me. So then it's like, okay, we
I
got this.
did.
We
I
got
did.
this.
I did. I think at the end of the day, what we don't want to do is give them too much, because as we again build and grow, they'll definitely get to know, Miss Z a little further. But
Mhm.
uh, definitely want to start off with some warm up questions for you as we get into more of the heavy hitting ones. So let's tap in. You ready?
Like, as ready as I'm gonna be.
All right, girl. Let's get unmuted.
All right.
Okay. First question up, friend, is you've worn many titles as a Latina, a single mom, a teen mom, an advocate, and a community leader. Which of those identities shaped you the most and why?
I'll probably say being a teen mom or being a mom in general. I know I've been trying to step out of that because I used to just always introduce myself as I'm a mom or I am this role for my job and I really want to step away a little bit from that, but being a mom it was really hard as being a teen mom. It was obviously nothing that you plan at 15. I was 15 when I got pregnant with my oldest, and I had to make grown-up decisions really fast by myself. My mom
Mhm.
always supported me, but that was the decision that I had that she told me that I had to make, and I'm glad because I hear stories of people that didn't get the same that support for you to make your own decision, and she did give me that. It was my decision through and through. So then I had to make a grown up decision, and it was always I always picked my baby. Like, it was like, "Oh, well, like, I'm gonna do this. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it." So I obviously went through with my pregnancy, had my daughter, and then everything that I did revolved around her well-being. So I was going to school, but I was feeling like, "Oh my god, I left my baby. Like, how am I just didn't feel like I could plug in with kids my age. So then I graduated early, and then I started going to college. And then so my whole world, everything, every walk of life that I can see, even to this day, has been for her. And then her sister now, well, Desiree, that was born after, to make sure that they were proud of me, to make sure they were taken care of, to make sure that, that they knew that the sky is the limit because it was hard. But now I see it still. Like, Alexis is 21 and I still, whatever I do, is like around, am I gonna make her proud? Am I gonna make her a better woman? Am I gonna help continue to shape her in her
Mhm.
adult life? So yeah, I would say a mom. And then I lead, not that I lead like a mom, but when I was a leader or when I do anything, I handle it with so much care. Like, anybody that comes into my path, like, I care about people. Like, I like to make sure, if that was my daughter, if that was somebody in my family, how would I treat them? And I try to lead in that way. So I do think
Mhm.
that that motherly instinct is the core of what I am, of who I am. I've always been like that. Even before I had my daughters, I was like that with my brothers. I don't know. I think I was born to be a mom. I think, but but I think that's what it would be. I know now I'm a more involved in the community and all of that, but it all stems from that nurturing side of me, and I want to continue to give as much as I can.
Absolutely. So I know, and in furtherance of that question, was there a support system for you? So did you have friends, who found themselves in the same position, or was it like, you were sort of an outlier and had to like navigate that space and just sort of figure it out, on your own?
It was very lonely. I My mom's did have my back. I would be lying if I said she didn't, but she also had to work and do provide and do things. But she always had my back. But besides my mom, a lot of people, especially in my family, kinda were disappointed because I was that kid, the straight A student, the one that everybody had their hopes on. That, "Oh my god, she's gonna be the one that's going to break the cycle. She's gonna graduate, do all these things that nobody has done," and that was a lot of pressure. So when I became pregnant, a lot of people in my family stopped talking to me. They basically said that I threw my life away, that I wasn't gonna accomplish anything. So then my mom was kind of like, "Oh, we're gonna show them. Like, we're gonna show them you are gonna accomplish it. You're gonna do it, and I'm gonna help you." And then so it was really me and my mom. We were a tag team because my friends
Mhm.
like became non-existent at that time. I really don't have any friends from that time in my life that I can say that, oh, acquaintances, maybe I have them on Facebook because we found each other, but like true friends, like I don't because I was very much alone during that pregnancy,
Yeah.
except for my mom.
And got you. Mamas always come through, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So in that same vein, um, what did that season teach you about strength and survival?
Well, it taught me that no matter what, I had to come through. Like, I know I'm not saying this is healthy by no means. I am in therapy, y'all. But, but it showed me that no matter what, I always had to survive. So for
Mhm.
me, there's just no other option. Like, I have to figure it out for my child that depends on me. because I saw that from my mom. Yeah, we might have been poor, but we always had food. We might have been poor,
Mhm.
but we always had warmth. So she always saw a way to figure it out. And there was a point that it was just me and her in the world. So no, everybody turned their back on her. So if she could survive with nobody but me and her, why couldn't I do it with her, me, and my baby? And then so that seeing her strength always gave me strength in a way, because I just figured if she could do it
Mhm.
with 0 help and, didn't get a high school diploma and and I'm here, then I could figure it out. I could figure it out and I can, and God has me and I'll figure it out. It's a season, I'll get through it. So, it's not easy, but I always figured if my mom could do it for me, I could do it for my kids, and especially with her having my back. So, I think it was family, and it always has been that family support. At the end of the day, I think that's what it showed me, and that's still what I live by. I could have the worst day, but I know that as long as my kids, my house is taken care of, like it'll be okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. So switching it up a little bit, because I know that being a mom is a very important part of your identity, but also one of the the sources of pride I know for you is also being a Latina.
Mhm.
So the question that I have for you is, as a Latina woman, how has culture both grounded you and challenged you?
I think being Latina, and I think I look back in life and I always remember, like, it's funny because you were mentioning about reading out loud and feeling like, oh my,
Hmm.
like I'm scared. For me, it was that, but it was also, oh, I have an accent. Oh, I know Spanish, so making sure that I wouldn't mess up when I spoke Spanish, because when I was in school, speaking Spanish was not something to be proud of. Like I would try to hide that aspect of me. Now I know it's code switch. Back then I was a little girl. I didn't know. I was just trying to be liked. I was trying to fit in. I was trying to have friends. So
Hmm.
if you in that moment of my life, if I was speaking Spanish, I was part of that group over there. And if I was part of that group over there, they were the ones that were getting made fun of or they were different. And in that moment as a little girl, I didn't speak up. I hid the fact that I knew Spanish. I didn't hang on that side until one day, I don't know, it just I don't know, I can't I don't even know, I don't remember what happened, but I just one day I became friends with one of them and we started speaking Spanish and it was kind of cool because I was like, oh, like I only speak Spanish at home. And then because I hung out with them, then I started getting bullied, or I all my friends stopped talking to me. And
Hmm.
then I realized, who cares? Like, that's a part of me. I know Spanish. I am Latina. Like, why should I have to hide that to make you comfortable? And then, so at a very young age,
Hmm.
I kind of said, okay, well, forget you. If you don't want to talk to me, then don't talk to me. I became friends with the Latinos, the Spanish speaking kids. And then that was that. I lost a lot of friends at that time. But I think I lived in a bubble for a long part of my life because I didn't realize everything that as a Latino you have to endure. I was just in my bubble of, okay, as long as I can graduate, I'll be the first in my family. But I didn't realize how that is
Hmm.
the culture and the journey of a lot of Latinos. It wasn't just in my family, it's in a lot of families. But in my moment, I was just in a bubble. I didn't realize that some Latinos were not here legally. I didn't know that. I thought everybody that went to school, everybody that's here, we all belong here. I still believe that we all belong, but I'm saying I didn't know that there was such a thing as you're not legally here, so you can get deported. I didn't know that. And now as an adult, I realized I went to school with a lot of kids that didn't have, they were not legally here and they could have been deported, and that was their worry and I didn't even know. I was clueless. I was clueless at the time. So
Hmm.
then that weighed heavily on me when I got older, and that also helped me when I picked my career at the time. I wanted to make sure that I helped my fellow Latinos, not even beyond Latinos. I mean, there's a lot of immigrants from different cultures. So I just wanted to help anybody that I could. And then so that's
Hmm.
where I got my first career choice to try to help in the immigration field. But always leading with that strength because us Latinos, now I know. Before it was just like, well, that's what my mom taught me. So I guess to just be strong and keep working for what you want. It's gonna be hard, but you gotta keep working. And boy,
Mhm.
is it hard. Is it hard? We have to work
Mhm.
10 times harder. And then we still don't belong. Like we work 10 times harder. We bust our butts. We clean buildings if we have to. Whatever we have to do to survive, we'll do it. And then so I think that that's something that I carry because I think you and I talked once and I was like, "Girl, if anything goes down and I have to go clean buildings, I don't care. Like I'll go do that as long as I'm surviving. I don't care what I'm doing, even if I have a college degree or whatever the case may be." So I carry that
Mhm.
with me. Like I'm with that strength, that hardworking, I'm trying to rest. That's something that goes opposite of what I was taught, but it's much needed. So I think you have to take the good and you have to also incorporate things that work for you. I'm very proud of being Latina. I'm very proud of being a hard worker, but I also need to chill. And we don't do that very well.
Mhm.
So it's hard. I think it's a battle and I think you can agree with me on that it's a battle because you just have things that are embedded in you. How do you break certain cycles but then keep your essence? That's what you have to kind of figure out throughout life.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm glad it's like you know what the questions are, friend, because you're just setting them up. It's like
Am I?
again going back to your baseball references. It's sort of like setting it up to hit it out the park. So the next question for you is, being so proud of the culture that your mom and your family ingrained in you. What are some non-negotiables in your household when it comes to culture? Because one of the things that you were calling out was the fact that like you felt the need to sort of assimilate and like become a part of what was norms here, in or what felt like norms because everyone else was doing a particular thing or um so like you were saying that the time when you got to speak Spanish with the other student, you sort of felt like an outcast, right? So now that you know better, you do better, right? So what are some non-negotiables in your household culturally that you're just like that's a no-go, we definitely hold that close to us and to stay connected to culture.
I would definitely say um the language, right? Spanish. That is something that I wish I did better because my mom is always on me, because my kids know Spanish, they speak Spanish, but they're more of English speakers. So I try to still talk to them in Spanish a lot because I know that in the future they're gonna want that. So I
Hmm.
wanna keep the language alive. So I don't wanna force them because what was happening with my youngest, I was trying to force it, and then she was failing her Spanish classes. Like when she was in elementary, it was too much for her. So then I was like, okay, it's a non-negotiable, but how can I tweak it so that it accommodates my daughter? Because now we're talking about somebody that's struggling really badly and is getting stressed, and she's too young for that
Hmm.
because of this
Hmm.
non-negotiable. So I had to tweak it a little bit with each kid, but that's still something that I want them to hold dear. Also, like our cuisine, listen, you have to like some pupusas because we are Salvadorian, so we definitely gotta eat that and our tamales and our turkey. We have a particular way of eating turkey. That's a non-negotiable. Every Thanksgiving, we do make our Salvadorian. They're called panes con pavo, which is basically almost like a turkey sandwich filled with like salsa, with your turkey, with the juice that we make for the turkey. We make sure it's very moist and it has like a little, almost like a soup, but not really. And then you put it on top with your
Hmm.
hot sauce. It is bomb, y'all. It is bomb. I'm just over here hungry thinking
Look, you
about
just
it.
made me hungry, friend. I'm
You're
I'm
gonna have
hungry.
to you're gonna have to
Uh,
come for Thanksgiving 1 year because it's a whole thing. So that's a non-negotiable. We're eating that. Um,
mhm, mhm,
also another one is we celebrate Christmas Eve and we open gifts at 12 at midnight. So it's not on the
mhm,
next day. The next day we chill, we're recovering from our hangover, we're helping the kids. put things together, like, that's on Christmas Day. But we dress up, we celebrate, and we open gifts at 12. That's a tradition that, again, is something that since I was a little girl, and it keeps going. And I mean, now I kinda didn't want my kids to feel left out because all the kids would say, "Oh, well, Santa came to my house. Santa came to my house." So then Santa comes to our house on Christmas Day, but we celebrate as a family on Christmas Eve.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I think that's the most non I mean, that's the most non-negotiable because, like, I don't know, I try to be very flexible because I like to also take some of that, but also to cater it to my family, my little family, and the way that we work together as a
Mhm.
unit. My mom on the
Mhm.
weekends blasting music at 8 in the morning, 7 or 8 in the morning, time to clean up. I don't do that. I'm just like, all right, let's wake up when we wake up and then let's clean up, you know? But my mom, it was
Mhm.
religious. Like, you already know it. If you didn't get up, you knew you were gonna get it. Okay, I changed that a little bit. I
Mhm.
still want the house clean. We're still gonna all help, but we're not waking up at the crack of dawn on the weekend. Like, that's not gonna happen, right? So I think the ones that I mentioned before are gonna be our non-negotiables. Everything else, we're kind of tweaking it as we go.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. And I can definitely feel you on that. Getting up super early, to clean. And the weekends being for that. Having a mom who was in the military, so before you ate, you needed to do at least round one of chores before, and
Well,
we were not in pajamas all day. So I definitely, no, we got to get up and we got stuff to do. So I definitely feel mama on that one of as soon as the music came on, you knew it was time to get up and start
yeah.
it. So
Or else,
yeah, so that part. There was no else. You just get up because you knew, right?
right.
So,
Right.
um, so how do you balance, right? So how do you find balance in um being a mom, being a daughter, being an employee, being a community advocate, and protecting the space for yourself?
It's hard. I'm still figuring it out. And then so I it's really hard because, again, you have a plate and you have a lot of different compartments that you have to make sure. And then I added, like, I'm in a relationship now, committed relationship with my partner for over 2 years now, and that was new. So I was already like a plate full, and then here comes this man that, incorporated himself to me in my life is chaos. So then how do so I'm not gonna lie, it's very challenging. I think it all goes back to making sure that everybody gets taken care of. Like, I try to be a great for the longest, my mom and I, it was me and her against the world, right? So
Hmm.
when I moved out with my kids and then later had my partner, she was feeling a little left out because she was like, "Oh, we no longer see each other all the time." And so I did have to go to therapy to kind of find the balance and how to say no because I was becoming too much of a people pleaser. I think I am still a people
Hmm.
pleaser, but it was just really bad. I was getting very stressed out and it was like I was leaving myself last, and that wasn't healthy for me. So I think that goes back to the culture because I see it in my mom with my grandma, and I'm like, "Hmm, okay. So this is
Hmm.
where this is coming from." So, I
Hmm.
try to make space for to have that individual relationship. So, for example, making sure that I give my mom one full day of my attention at least per week, or trying to do something to spend time with her. Call her every day. I call her every day. And if I don't call her, something's wrong because she's like, "Why are you not calling me?" So I make sure I call my mom every day to stay up to date with my kids. I try to be a very active mom. One is 21, one is 13. I homeschool the 13-year-old. And then so just making sure that I'm constantly talking to them. We have our group chats. I have her not that far away to make sure she's doing her homework because she's a teenager, but having very much open conversations. I like to give them the space to be independent, but also know that I'm here 100%. So I'm a helicopter mom, but I also like to let them spread their wings and then do their own decisions. And then taking care of me mentally and health-wise. I thought just by doing it health-wise, that was enough, but then I realized through therapy that I needed to do the work mentally because I wasn't taking care of me. I wasn't, and I still struggle with that, if I'm being transparent, because I still struggle with disconnecting completely. I mean, I'm gotten to the point where I can be off from work and just relax, but I still haven't gotten to the point where I do something just for myself, like once a day or even twice a week. It's been hard. It's been hard because I always feel like I have to do something for somebody, and then so mine is like the last thing. So I know me and my therapist talk, and she's like, "What have you done for yourself?" And I just be like, "I took a 30-minute bath. Does that count? I didn't rush out of the shower. Does that count?" And then so
Mhm.
just being just trying to balance it is hard. It's hard. Like there's times that I fumble and it's like I get held accountable, right? But then asking for help.
Mhm.
I think growing up I was raised to do everything that a housewife is supposed to do. I know how to cook, clean, obviously take care of kids. And then so culturally, Latina women are supposed to take care of everything. And the husband is like the worker and that's it. He comes home and that's it. And it's like, I can't do that. I've tried it and
Mhm.
it's like it's embedded in me, but I realize with this relationship that I'm in now, balance is everything. And if we're both working, like I also need help, like and asking for help because some men need that. I thought, my man, he understands me, he loves me, he just gonna get it. He knows what I need. Wrong, he doesn't know what I need. So then me talking about it with my family, having check-ins. There's times that I'm like, "Okay, look, so who's gonna do what? Because I can't do it all. So who's gonna do this, that?" And
Mhm.
just, like, having that format because, like, they tell me, "Mom, how do we know that you don't got it? You always got it. So if you don't tell us you don't got it, how do we know that you don't got it?" And I'm just like, "I mean, I guess you're right." So asking for
Mhm.
help is a big one, and I think we don't do that a lot. I think we just think we can handle everything, and we can, but to what is it gonna what's gonna be the outcome for ourselves?
Yeah. 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 I definitely can. I can see, and I'm proud of you. Being able to speak up and speak your needs. Big call out. First of all, thank you for your openness about therapy because I know in community, especially for communities of color, that sometimes, saying that I talk to somebody to help me navigate how I feel and my experiences can sometimes be looked down upon of
Mhm.
like we don't do that. We don't talk to people about what we experience. We just get through it. We thug through it, right? So I'm proud
Yeah.
of you. Number one for tapping in and regularly talking about it, talking to a therapist, and also speaking your needs to your family because I know that that breaks, of some the some of the norms
Mhm.
that exist again in communities of color.
My girls had a lot to say in part one, but if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready for part two. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe, and always staying unmuted.